So while it's getting created, okay, our application is going to be tab. It is a talent acquisition process. It's nothing but talent acquisition process. So using that process, we acquire the talent. Okay. Or else we can name it as here TARP. Talent acquisition and retaining process. Okay. We need to acquire talent. Second thing is here, we need to retain the talent. We can call it as tab. Okay, so talent acquisition and retaining process. So this application we are going to create using React.js. This can be a worthy project. Okay, if we complete properly, it can be really a worthy project. So here in this, we need first of all database using PostgreSQL. First, we define the database. So here we create database. So creating database meaning is what? First of all, tables which can hold data. Similarly, write, stored functions and procedures to manipulate data. So we have there PostgreSQL. It is a database server. Okay, it is not hardware, it is software. On top of actually the hardware, we install this. There are so many layers. First of all, you have a hardware layer. On top of hardware layer, you have OS layer. On OS layer, we install this. Some of the features of OS, the DBMS has. Okay, whenever we manipulate data, it's going to be manipulating data in the form of the pages. It's going to manage data in the form of the pages. One page is equal to 8,192 bytes. Okay, 8,192 bytes. At one time only, it can fetch data from more than one page. Number of pages actually, they get loaded into memory. So once they are loaded into memory, within the virtual memory only, that means within the data loaded into memory, it's going to perform operations. Okay, whenever you access data from the RDBMS, it's going to be getting data in the form of the, here we call this as actually pages. Pages, extends, such words we use. But as a high level developer, we never bother about that. Okay, we never bother about that, how data is getting retrieved, how data is actually getting saved. We always bother about the queries, SQL queries. They work on top of all the things. So we need to bother about only SQL, structured query language, or we use PLPG SQL. Okay, we call it as PLPG SQL, or sometimes it's called even as PGPL SQL. SQL stands for structured query language, and PLPG SQL is like procedural language, Postgres SQL, or Postgres procedural language, structured query language. Okay, every RDBMS, commercial RDBMS has its own language. So that language actually implements the SQL. SQL is standard, just a standard. When certain commercial database is built at that time, they give a provision to interact with the database with the help of the SQL. That means what? Every database, commercial database, should implement SQL. At the same time, they should implement their own language. like for creating stored functions, stored procedures. There are many other mechanisms. For that purpose, they require special language. So PostgreSQL has PGPL-SQL, sometimes we call, or PLPG-SQL. So using that, we can interact with the underlying database. Okay, so PostgreSQL is installed as a Windows service. To access that, you require a client. Client name is what? The client name is here pgadmin. So using pgadmin, we get connected. Similarly, when you work with MySQL, at that time we call it as MySQL Workbench. Okay, when we work with actually SQL Server, we call it as SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Similarly, when you work with actually Oracle Express Edition, in such case, we use SQL Star. With the help of that, we connect with the Oracle database. Okay, so you have clients. With the help of clients, you can connect to the underlying service. It works as a Windows service. On certain port number, actually, it gets opened. So when we work with like PostgreSQL, it works with the 5432 port number. On that particular port number, it runs. 5432 or 5632, some port number is there. So on that port number, actually, it listens. Okay, for listening, there should be some kind of door. We call it as port. So that port actually accepts commands. So using that commands, once commands are entered, it can execute them. So therefore here, SQL, PLPG SQL or PGPL SQL, using them, we write the stored functions or stored procedures. Stored functions or stored procedures, they are actually something like batch files. You write more than one command in a script. So the script you are going to execute. Like how you have JavaScript, how you write Python script. In the same manner, we can script. So the script is available in the form of the functions or procedures. Okay, so they get executed at once. That is what exactly PostgreSQL. So using create database, you can create a database. Okay, similarly, using create table, you can create table. Create store procedure, you can create procedure. Create function, you can create a function. So there are commands with the help of that you can do many things. Okay, so whenever you work with SQL, we have these types of like SQL. In the SQL, you have these parts like DDL, data definition language, DML, data manipulation language, DRL, data retrieval, or even we call this as DQL, or we call this as DQL, data query language. Then you have DCL, data control language. TCL is going to be transaction control language. So all these part of actually SQL. Okay, so using them, we manipulate data. So using DDL, first of all, we create the various database objects. Using DML, you manipulate the data, insert data into the table, retrieve from that, update, all the things you do with the help of the DML. So using DRL, what we do, we retrieve data from the underlying tables. So using DQL also, we do same thing. Both of them are nothing but query languages. Okay, whenever you work with databases, there are going to be two different types of queries, an action query or a select query. Select query retrieves, action query performs certain actions like insertion, updation, deletion. Those are called as here action queries. Apart from that, sometimes on the fly you create the tables. So that is DDL. Or sometimes what happens, you grant permissions, revoke permissions, that you can call as DCL. And TCL is going to be like acid properties. What is acid? Try to understand. You search yourself in the DBMS, what is acid you find? Atomicity, consistency, isolation, so and durability. These are called as acid. We call them as acid. Atomicity, consistency, isolation, and one more thing is what? Durability. So these are called as acid. Also, what is acid? Try to find yourself. And one more thing, normal forms. Okay, we have a concept called normal forms. What are normal forms? What is 1NF? In the DBMS, we call it. Similarly, we have 2NF. Then we have here 3NF. Okay, then you have here BNF, Bacchus NOR form. And you have here 5NF. Like this, we have different types of normal forms. But normally, we go up to third normal form. that will be meeting our requirements in database design. So what are these normal forms? Try to understand. Okay, what is actually database integrity? Okay, why we have to go up to 3 normal forms? What is actually transitive property in this we use? Similarly, what are primary keys? What are foreign keys actually? And what are multi-valid attributes? Try to understand yourself. This is a little theory part. You have to know about that. Okay, so what is normal form first? What is 1NF? What is 2NF? What is 3NF? What is BNF and what is 5NF? They ask you in the interviews. These questions they ask you in the interviews. How much you know about the database to understand your capabilities? They ask you the normal forms concepts. You should be ready with them. So therefore, try to understand the 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, what exactly they are. Okay, what are tuples? What are attributes in that? A tuple is nothing but a row. Okay, and similarly, in the row, whatever columns you have, they are called as attributes. Okay, so just go through these 3 normal forms, 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, how we can normalize, why we normalize, what is data redundancy, why primary key, foreign key are required. So this is overall general database idea. It is a concept. It is actually theory part. So the theory, whatever we learn, theory is nothing but here set of standards, I can say. So those standards we need to implement whenever you physically create some database. Okay, when you create database, you are going to use them. That is called as implementation. So using certain rules, regulations, using them, what you do exactly, you define the database, then the database can work perfect. Okay, so with standards when you make, what happens exactly? As you expect, mostly they work. When they are not working, in that case, you need to fine tune, like indexing, re-indexing. Okay, so like that, you have to tune the database from time to time. Definitely, you have to fine tune. Otherwise, they don't work. I mean, they may be slowing down. From time to time, you need to re-index and you have to index those things you need to do. So therefore, fine tuning is also important, but it's not part of actually development. It's part of administration. Okay, but these days, as a full stack developer, even you involve in the database database administration as well. You have to administer even database. So that's why you have to know about cloud. So that's why you have to know about DevOps as well. So why they ask you, you have to know about like cloud. In the cloud only we mostly host it. If you know how to access the database from cloud, in such case you can fine tune. Okay, you can make it better. So that's why they ask you, you have to be like a full stack. Along with that full stack, you need to know about the cloud services available. Also, they ask you, to be a DevOps engineer as well. DevOps engineer means DevOps can be viewed in different angles. As a developer, how much you need, that much is enough for you. You need not be actually setting up any complete infrastructure. Infrastructure engineers are there, they actually set up everything. In the case of cloud, in the case of DevOps also, they do all those things. So we need not do all those things. As a developer, how much we need to know? We have to know that much. Okay, so you have to know about these concepts. They are going to be very important. When you have time, try to, you spare some time, try to understand all those things. Okay, so next thing here, I would like to create a new application. Already I created the application third. Here I go with this, then type here like third. Okay, so this is exactly what CD third app. Is it not available? Just I type dir command and see my third it is. Sorry, this is CD my third. This is the application I created. Now inside this, you have this one. Okay, package.json, public folder, src folder, and apart from that, you have a node modules folder. In that, you find various libraries related to node. Okay, there is a package.json file, there is a public folder, and there is a src folder available. In the public folder, you have files related to like public meaning is what here, static, mostly static content you find in this. What is exactly static content? The content which cannot change. Okay, like here, index.html. Once created, we don't modify that. As far as this React is concerned. Similarly, you have assets folder. In that you can have various assets like images. Okay. Similarly, CSS and JavaScript. So like jQuery kind of other third-party libraries. You can put them in the like public folder. Okay. Similarly, when it comes to SRC folder, in the SRC folder, you have actually various components which you create with the like React. Okay, so these are available in the given package called mythird, or mythird is an application, so in which you have all these things. Now let me launch it and show you this entire mythird project I launched from the Visual Studio Code. Okay, I go to this then. I would like to launch it here. I have opened here mythird. Okay, this is going to be package.json. In the package.json, we have various files. Okay, we have actually various files in this. Sorry, various settings we have. This is in the form of the JSON. Like name is here mythird, version is 0.10, private is true here. Dependencies, these are actually dependencies. You have just DOM, React, user event. So React library is available, React DOM is available here, React scripts is available, Web Vitals are available. All these are available like actually React.js packages. Then we have here in this scripts. So whenever you go with the like npm start, it is going to be running this. When you say npm build, this is going to be building. This is going to build the application for us. You can test it when you type npm test. It is going to be getting tested. Similarly, we have many other things. This is called as the linting, ESLint. Okay, so we have ESLint for Chrome, for Firefox, and for Safari. This is getting created while you develop application. So you can understand all these things. What is this file? What exactly? Why all these are written here? You can Google and you can find all that information. Now, when it comes to public folder, in the public folder, we have index.html, then logo 192.png, then similarly logo 5112.png, manifest.json, robots.txt. This is important for us, index.html. So inside this, what we do, we actually created a div called root. So into this only, we are going to inject other components. Okay, so into this root, we are going to inject React.js components through the index.html file. Sorry, index.js file, we do it. So where is that index.js available for us? In the SRC folder, we can find that index.js. So index.js root React DOM create root document.get element by ID root. So where root is available in the index.html file, it is available. So into the root, we are going to render this component app.js. This is going to be the starting component. By default, this is available. So by default, app.js is available. So that we are going to render in the root component. Sorry, in the root, we are going to create a root here, root variable or root object. Into the root object, we are going to here render the app component. In fact, app component is going to be the main component. In this, we use other components. So how do we render app component? Using index.js. This is the initial JavaScript file, and this is the initial HTML file. Index.html is the initial HTML file, and similarly, index.js is going to be starting JavaScript file. Okay, then where are the configurations for that? Let us see. If you go to node modules, you find all the information. Okay, just come down here and see. We have a folder called React scripts. As you come down, you can find in this React scripts. Okay, then this is here. Scripts you have. Here, one of the things is what? Build.js. You have these things. If you go with the template, you have these things. And when you expand the lib here, okay, you have this. If you go to bin folder, this is React scripts file we have here. Apart from this, what else we have here? We just go to P on the top. We go with the P here. Okay. So there is a okay, there is one file called paths.js. In that we can find it. Path type you have here. Okay, somewhere we find actually paths.js. Where is it I'm seeing? I think config, in the config folder, we find it. So just come to config. Where is con? Config contact we have here, confusing browser, content type, @config do we have anywhere? Okay. Let me search in this case. Here, there's anything like find. Do we have any find in this? There is no provision to find here. Go with the control F here. Okay, this is what paths dot js. Not available in this. Since it's too many libraries actually, getting them a little. Okay. If you go with the start.js, you may find somewhere the paths folder. Okay. Go to definition. So this is what the global start d.ts. There is actually somewhere paths available. Okay, the start.js, where it is available, let us see. So // env. So let me collapse this here. If I go to env folder, is there anything like a config folder? Is it available? It's not available. Okay, if I come to here also, it's not available. It should be part of again node modules only. Config. So it should be somewhere. Config is not available. So express expect. I go with the globals. In the globals, it's not available. If I go with the INI, in the INI, it's not available. Just config we have here. React config anywhere do we have? Let me see that. Not even available here. I should have a path to regular expression we have, but we don't have anything related to. Path type. We don't have anything in this path. Key is also not available. PSQL queue we have here. PSL. Let us go to React.js and see in this. Not even in this. Let us search actually where that is available. Okay. So where this is available, we can check from this. In which folder we get it. Or not. It is available somewhere in this. I come down here. This file. Okay, in the React scripts, we have a config folder. In the config folder, we have paths.js file. Okay, in the paths.js file, we have all this information. You can see app.html, index.html, app public is public folder, and app index.js is actually index file. So here it is loading the index.html automatically. So this folder is important folder. This file is important here. App.html is going to be index.html and app index.js is going to be src/index. Apart from this, even you can have other things as well in this. So these two are going to be very important in this. So this is for the eject. Similarly, as you come down here, we can add here also app.html index.html. Similarly, app index.js is src index. And even here also you have, okay, app, HTML and app index.js. Here also you can find it. So like this, in multiple places, those configurations are available. You have to see within the path.js folder. It is part of actually React.js scripts. Where exactly it is? It is React scripts. In the React scripts, you have a configuration folder. So in this configuration folder, paths.js we have, here we are going to configure which file exactly it is. Like index.html as well as here app.html is index.html, app index.js is going to be here. In this case, src/index. Index.html is part of actually the app.html file folder, and index.js is part of actually here like src folder. So these are distributed in two different folders. No, but here now we got in the React scripts. So since its library is actually too big, okay, so many libraries we are having, little confusion we have. So it is part of actually React scripts. It's a folder. In this folder, you can find that information. Okay, we are getting in that path, in that area, we are getting it. So here you can change the required thing. In the last session, we have seen about that. In the last session, we have seen about that, how to change. In the same manner, we had it. Now you can launch this application using npm start. So this is the default coming up. You can remove this one which by going into app.js file. In that you can change. Then automatically this will be removed. Okay. And other thing, yes. So here it is. You have in the app.js that you can modify. You can change it. Too many files actually. This is. So app.js, And here you have unnecessary stuff in this. This can be removed here. Okay, so you can remove and you can put the P in this. Go with the P. Then here inside this, keep welcome to React.js. Okay, so we're missing something in this case. Header we are missing on the top. Go with the header. Then it should render automatically in this. Welcome to React. We are getting in this manner here. And if you want to change style, styles can be changed. So we remove that and it's coming up in this manner. So next step is what? We have to use here in this, the styling bootstrap. We have to use actually bootstrap in this. So for that purpose, first of all, we need to install it. We have to install bootstrap. So for that purpose, here I go with npm install bootstrap. In the local folder, I'm installing it. Okay, similarly, I can go with the React Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is just CSS, but when you go with the React Bootstrap, this is going to contain for us like React components. So internally, React components, they use the Bootstrap CSS. We go into this, then here, okay, we go with the RC apps. And in this again, if you go with the my second, okay, then last session we have seen in the public folder, there is actually index.js file, open with Notepad. So this is index. Similarly, we go with the home dot, and in this we try to see. Okay, so this is added here in this, and we have added. This is added automatically for us. Similarly, when we come to like src folder, in the src folder, there is a file called app.js file. Open with Notepad. It is app.js. Similarly, we have here default also. Home or default we created. Index, I think we created. Let us go to index and open this file as well here. Here we are going to add the bootstrap. Okay, we can take the bootstrap library here and we try to import it into our application. So come to this point and here just import it. Where I am using it, it is actually the index. So I should come to the index.js file and here I should change it. Change the sense I need to add the bootstrap library in this. Okay, index.js, I can here add the bootstrap. Once the CSS is available, you can now change the styles and everything. Okay, class name equal to app we have taken. Then here we go with the like, we can apply in this case again, class name equal to app we kept. Similarly, we put actually this container. Another also we try to use in this. Okay, go with this and start npm start. Okay, so for the paragraph is not getting applied. We are using here this one as a container as well. Class name equal to app and container. We are putting here two different classes, app as well as container. Okay, header style is not getting applied in this. So we go to app.cs file and for header we try to change it. APP header background color, foreground color, these we kept here. Color is white. Okay. So when we look at this, what is the color? We get actually black color only. Whenever we go with the APP header, in the app.js, we have a header here. So the header, once again, let us see here, app CS file. This is okay. But what we use in this, if we come to the app.js, header is used as a tag in this case. Fine. So let us put in this case class name. We go to CSS file. In the CSS file, you have this particular class name. Let us put it as app header. Okay, let us try to put this as here, app header. And how this works, see, in the app.js. Okay, so go here and try to put class name equal to keep like this. And try to see how this renders. So it is getting changed now with the background black, and top of that actually you have like white. So this is coming up. It's coming up in this manner. But suppose if I change here container flex, what happens? See, it is occupying entire screen. This is the difference between the container and container flex. There's a difference between container and container flex. When you go with the container flex, what happens? It occupies entire screen. But when you go with the container, it's going to be using some space only of that. Automatically, the padding is added. Left side padding, right side padding, they are getting added for us automatically in this. So this is what exactly a container. Flex I'm using, or you can go with the container. There are certain predefined styles that you can apply. So here we have app logo spin. So the logo can be spinning actually. The logo can spin. We can take other image and even we can make it actually getting spun. If you go here, app.js, what is happening? We have a logo SVG file. Okay, we try to use some other image and try to take it. Just download some image here. Download spinner. Not GIF, spinner actually. This is JPG file. అది అక్కడ పోయి చేయి. Okay. SPN. I just put here PNG file. Save this here. On the desktop, I have that file. Okay, I can go to this end, cut it here. After that, I just want to go into this here, my third. Then in the public folder, I have here image. So just paste it here, SPN. So it's basically SPN.png. Okay, when I come here, I want to go with the import here, LG1 from here it is // followed by, I want to go here with the logo.svg file. What is the other file I have here? PNG file is also available. So spn.png is available. Okay, but why it is not shown? So let me put here like svn dot. Is it SPN? Sorry, spn.png. I want to use here. Okay, then just try to render this image. Okay, if I go with the CSS, this is exactly what for link we have. Even for the logo, we have in this app logo. Okay, so app logo is available. Even with the logo, we can apply that. App logo we have, so we try to apply the app logo in such cases. Then when I come to here, app.js file, here I'll go with this, then followed by here it is img. I can put this as here lg1, followed by class name equal to here it is in the app.cs. I take this as app logo. Okay, we can come to app.js. Then here we put it as, then I want to close this here. So it's giving some sort of error. Okay, even with that also, it should work. spn.png is not found, it says, but there's a PNG file available here in this. SPN properties is here. So this is SPN. Fine, I come to this, then here in this. spn.png, we kept it here. Okay, so where this is available exactly? Fine, so I kept in the wrong folder. I should go to dot public, then slash. When I put, I think it should be available. I remove this here, dot followed by slash. Here in this case, I can go with the public folder. Then public, it's not available. So what I do, I just do one thing. Later on we can configure it. Copy this here and come to my third. And in this folder, in the src folder itself, I dump this. I can actually paste it here. It is nothing but SPN now. So here from dot slash spn.png, I can keep like this now. Okay, so if we come here in the React app, this must be getting rendered. It is getting rendered here, but if I go with this div class, so it is spinning, but it's not actually coming totally. Let us go here with the width as well as class name, app logo. Okay, so in the app logo, height, vertical min, it is taken. So let me create for this new one. app1 I put here. And here also app1 logo. And let me put this as something like 80 vmin. Okay, I want to put this as like it is spinning, but it is taking only very small space. It is taking in this case. We need to resolve that issue. Okay, app logo spin. If I come to CS file, where is that app logo spin? So that is file here. Transform 0 degrees. I think width is very, very small. It is shown 40 vmin I have taken actually. App logo. So app logo, I created, I think, app logo 1. Twice it is copied. If I go with app1 logo, this is here also app1 logo. And when I come to app.js here, this is app1 logo. I need to apply that. Then again, let us refresh. Slightly, it has increased its size. Let us go with bigger size and see how that works. Okay, so here it is. Instead of going with the 80, I just want to put 200 vmin. Okay, 200 vmin. It's not actually getting changed. It is same thing, but it's spinning. Okay, this is spinning. So instead of going with any kind of actually like in the index.app.js file, we don't apply any. We go with app.cs, then we remove here hide attribute and see what will happen in such cases. Okay, it is coming up, but properly it's not getting rendered. LG1 a class equal to app1 logo we have taken. So this image must come properly. So it's not coming up. Then in such cases, what I can do, I can go with the width colon, like this is some 300 px. I'll put height colon, put some 200 px. Like in pixels, let us try to render. Okay. Image is not getting rendered, but you can see some sort of thing here. It's not coming up properly. Instead of that, we can use some other image as well. Need not be same image. So here spinner is not actually getting rendered properly. We can go here with the other image and see. Okay, so here it is spinner images. We have a spinner image, something like this here. This can be save image as, it is not this file. We require only JPG file. They are giving this kind of files. Okay. Sample wheel PNG file. So this wheel we have, but not available in color. Fine, but still we can take it, save image as here, wheel.jpg. Okay, so wheel only, like wheel we save. We go to desktop and from here we cut it. Then come to concerned folder. In this folder, we dump it. Then here we come to this point. Okay. And so where this is available, it's available here. Come to app.js, then here write import WHL from /wheel.jpg we can put. Okay, so here it is WHL we put. It is wheel. So how this renders, let us now see. Still, it's not actually getting rendered properly. Okay, WHL SRC. Okay, so do yes here, then try to go with this. I think still will not render properly. Still, this is only coming up for us. Even here also same thing is coming up. Okay, just go to more tools, then developer to not developer tool. Okay, I can go to like clear browsing data. Some of the data I try to remove. Then after that I refresh. But image is not coming up properly. Though I increase its size here, it's not coming up. We need to explore why this is not coming up actually. In both the cases, image is not shown in this. Image is not actually shown well when you go with both of them. APP1 logo, here it is. In the div, we are trying to render. We are importing any of three different things. Okay, SVG only will it render. We see sample SVG wheel file. Wheel. So is this same image as not PNG file? I need SVG file, scalable vector graphics. Okay, color wheel is available here. SVG will be required. SVG we require. Okay, so this is what color wheel save this. We'll go with the color wheel. And in this again, we dump this. We put this as here wheel from color wheel dot SVG. Still, this is not actually getting applied. The animation is happening here, but it is not coming up. Okay, but if we go with the normal logo, what will happen? Let us see this. Here we go with the logo and see even this is also not getting rendered properly. The image is not coming up in this. Okay, so probably src equal to logo. Is coming up now here. In the same manner, you need to put in curly brackets. We go with the WHL. So then this must be getting rendered here. A color wheel is coming up. Also, we can go here with the LG1. Even LG1 can be getting rendered. I think LG1 also comes in this properly. So it is actually spinning for us. This can be changed. So here, image we use, the styles also we can change in this manner here. Now this is coming up properly. Now if I go here with the CSS, and if I go with the same kind of height, what will happen? Let us see. Put Control V. Then after that, we try to refresh this here. Okay, how much I have taken? This is for the APP1 logo. 40 we have taken. So instead of going with 40, I go with the 20. What would be the change I have in this? So I'm decreasing here the height for it. So it is getting rendered. Even further, you can reduce it. You can make it something like actually 10 as well. Okay, so very small. This is coming up now here. You can see it very small. So styles you can change here in this area. You can change styles and you can render them as per the necessity. Okay, so whenever you go with sources and whenever you apply the styles, along with this, you have to use here in the curly brackets. You cannot put simply in the double quotes. You need to put actually in the curly brackets. Then in such cases, this can be getting applied properly. So class name is what here? APP1 logo we are putting in this. We are keeping in this manner here. Div class name and header class name also we put this way. Try to put even this one in the curly brackets. So if you put in the curly brackets, will it work or not? Let us check. So you cannot put in the curly brackets. You have to put only in the single quote or in double quotes. So come to this point and put here in the double quotes. Okay. but this one is having here class name, and you require here alt also. Alt equal to sample. When image is missing, the text sample appears on that. So we created some CSS. That CSS we are using in this page here. Okay, so this is going to be the component app.js. With that, you can work. Okay, similarly, we can do many things, but just try to have a view with this. Today, tomorrow, I'm going to share some document related to this database and as well as application structure. How we create structure here. What are the folders, important folders in this? I create a hierarchy. So with that hierarchy, this can be working. So this project is going to be completely tabs. As I told earlier, it can be called as even TARP or TAP. It is TAP. Talent acquisition and here retaining. Okay, process. Not project. We cannot say project, but we can say process. Talent acquisition and retaining process. Okay, so how to acquire talent, how to retain them. So that application we create here. Further, I explain tomorrow. Okay, but first we create the database. So in that, what are the tables required that I discuss that we create Monday. So that may be little more time. Okay, I'm also joining little late. Actually, I have some interaction with others. So due to the 10-15 minutes getting delayed, I'm sorry for that. So, but next session, exactly, I try to start at 6:30 my time. Okay, so this application is going to be TARP application. If some of you can create a logo for this, that would be really good. Okay, just you give an idea how to create a logo. So TARP logo, just try to create. You can create, and after that, if you want to, send any mail to me, you can send to this my email ID once again. I'm showing here. So to that email, if you create some logo, you can just share that with me. And one more thing, before we proceed, you need to require PostgreSQL database installed in your system. Okay. So along with that, you have PG admin. Without that, you cannot, do much. So PostgreSQL and PG admin, both of them are important. And in that process, you learn even the PostgreSQL. Okay, DDL commands, similarly, like creating procedures, functions, you learn even them using PG admin. So PG admin should be installed in your system. Already must be part of actually your computer, this PostgreSQL and PG admin. So when install PostgreSQL, automatically PG admin is available. Unlike MySQL Workbench is also available, but when you install SQL Server at that time, you don't have SSMS separately, you need to install that. Okay, so PostgreSQL is going to be your database and PG admin is going to be your client. With the help of that, you develop database. Then through the application, we can access. I show you in two different ways how to access the database. One is using SQL Alchemy. Other one is like writing straight away plain SQL queries. Okay, but depending on the ORM is not a good practice, in my opinion. You need to use actually stored functions or stored procedures. With the help of that, we have to do. ORM is quite complex. Of course, for developer, it is very simple. But when developer faces some problem, it can't be solved easily with the ORM. So a lot of tweaking is required in such cases. So always better to go with the, like, in my opinion, stored functions or stored procedures. But smaller applications, you can go with the ORM. Within no time, you can do it. ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. In the program, you create objects. Okay, from that objects, you take data and you save in the database. So instead of retrieving from object and again writing query, so straight away you can map actually ORM, the objects in the memory to tables. So you don't create anything, automatically tables can be created, table data can be inserted, it can be updated, it can be deleted if needed. All the things you can do simply with the ORM. So it is object relational mapping. From Python, we are going to use that. Okay, apart from that, unit testing is very important. You have to unit test even application. Whatever you create, you have to use the unit testing mechanism as well. Okay, it's a good practice to go with the unit testing. Fine then. So Monday, we start with the project. Okay, So before that, just try to get one logo done for me. It is like TARS. What exactly told you there? It is TARP, talent acquisition, and here it is a retaining process. Acquiring talent is important. Retaining talent is also going to be important. So that application we do end to end, we try to do in that using standard practices, procedures we create. Okay, procedures and standards also we have to. I mean, in the very first stage or initially, you may not follow any standard, but you improvise the standards. Ultimately, by the time product is ready, the standards you'll have in your application. Before you go into production, you need to incorporate all standards. When you start itself, actually, you may not have standards. Okay, but as you proceed, you'll have actually all the standards incorporated in the given application. Okay, so that's my experience actually. Initially, it may look like waveart, but we need to improve that, improvise that. Then only we understand it as a standard. Otherwise, you can't understand it as a standard. Okay, so without experience, you cannot learn anything. Even without standards also, you don't know. Without actually, I mean, in a non-standard way, when you code, when you change it, that is called a standard. Then you understand what exactly standard is, what is the advantage of it. Otherwise, visualizing is very difficult. Particularly, you take younger generation who just completed like BTech, MTech or something. So they don't know much about actually the software background. They straight away talk actually like in standards. Fine, but without knowing actually non-standard, you cannot judge whether it is standard or not. Okay, so I mean, yeah, in that way, we need to go ahead. First, we start with actually without any standards and slowly we improve it. So with that, you can understand the standards and what is the advantage of the standards. Fine, then we meet. You have any questions? No, TARP, that is. Sri, it is TARP. So if you can make some nice looking, that would be really good. Okay. So, and certain color combinations also we use. Which colors are better? If you can propose those colors, that would be really good. And throughout the project, we need to use same colors and same kind of font we have to use. So just even, advise on that. Okay, just that is good then actually. I mean, we can get some logo. Then similarly, we can go with some kind of actually like some color. Yeah, whatever it is. So just try to make some prototype kind of thing. Some, small things you make and try to show them. We can conclude that we can come to some kind of agreement kind of thing. So Sitaram also joins actually. He's also going to have a look at that. Then it is always actually like a democratic team. When you work in a team, actually, it must be like a democratic team. Of course, if it is true democratic team, it will not work, but something like a chief democratic team we should have. So in such case, what happens is everyone can understand, everyone can appreciate that. Okay, so everyone's opinion we need to take, and ultimately with everyone's agreement, we need to go ahead. Fine. So that is a good, it's in a harmony you work. Otherwise, what happens? Suppose I say you have to do only this. Somebody says you have to do only this. That is wrong, actually, in my opinion. So we have to be conforming to certain certain kind of things, actually. So everyone accepts that. Then in that case, everyone feels it is my project or it is our project. So that glueness is always required, in my opinion. Okay. So team should be a glue team. It should not be actually a waveart team. One should not pull in one direction, other should not pull in the other direction. So that is wrong always. It has to be a glue team. Then in that case, actually, definitely this can be working well. So from Monday we start it. Then with all your enthusiasm, with all your energy, you have to work on that and let us make actually that a success. You can showcase in your profile it as a good project. Okay, a good application. Even it can be used. Then all the best. Okay, get prepared for the Monday. So meanwhile, try to do some R&D, just revive all these things. And you learn actually by doing projects itself, you can learn so many concepts. Fine. So whenever I say something, it new, I can say that it's a new thing. We haven't discussed it. Then further you can do on that some R&D kind of thing, even you can learn. So this way you can be learning. Yeah. I mean, Vaishnavi, you have any questions?
No, I'm not having.
Yeah, I mean, my sister's name is also Vasanta. I mean, my Vasanta's name is Vaishnavi. Her daughter's name is also Vaishnavi, and you are also
Okay.
Vasanta's daughter. Sorry, daughter-in-law. You are also Vaishnavi. Recently, she came from Canada.
Okay.
So both Vasantas, actually, both of them know each other again.
That's
My
good.
sister is known by your mother-in-law, and your mother-in-law is known by my sister. They used to stay in the same place some time back.
Oh,
Same place in the sense, in the same street, I can say.
yeah.
Okay, Vaishnavi. So we meet on Monday.